Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Marvin again, back with some more reactions. Welcome back to Smitty Reacts. And on this video, hey, we got to check out some more stuff from Hot Ones. I was about to say music. I'm so used to doing music reactions, but sometimes I got to take a little break and check out Chris Evans on Hot Ones, especially when it has a really cool guest. He's got Tessa Thompson here, who I'm a fan of. I liked her work in the Marvel movies and stuff. She's been in other projects as well, but I'm definitely want to kind of check in. When I saw her, I was like, I got to at least check out and see what she's talking about on Hot Ones. Plus, I enjoy this show. It's not even a guilty pleasure anymore. I like this show. I like the way that Chris handles his interviews. I like the way that, you know, he treats his guests with respect and throws off like different questions and stuff. So it's not like your traditional show. Plus, it's always fun to watch people uncomfortable answering questions. So definitely here to check this out. So before I hit start on this thing, of course, please hit like, hit the share button, subscribe if you haven't. Definitely appreciate all the love and support, man. Definitely try to put out some more content myself, you know, because I've taken a little time off, kind of under the weather and so forth, but I'm back at it and definitely here for some more reactions. So let me go ahead and hit start on this thing. This is Hot Ones with Tessa Thompson. Sean Evans hosting, holding it down. Let's check it out. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
Thor: Love and Thunder. Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today we're joined by Tessa Thompson. She's an actress whose resume runs the gamut from critically acclaimed indies to box office shattering blockbusters, including Westworld, Creed, Thor, and many others. And on the topic, you can catch her in her role as Valkyrie in the latest Marvel release, Thor: Love and Thunder, coming to theaters July 8th. Yep. Tessa Thompson, welcome to the show.
Quick note on that. It's actually coming out tonight for me because I'm going to an early showing for it tonight. Definitely looking forward to checking out Love and Thunder. Honestly, I'm just curious to see how Christian Bale is in the movie with the Gore, the God Butcher character. If you're not familiar with that character, definitely look him up in the comics. He's a crazy character, crazy villain. But anyway, definitely looking forward to checking that out. So sorry to pause so early. Apologies. I'm just going to rewind just a tick. Let's go. Plus, oh yeah, her resume is crazy.
Creed, Thor, and many others. And on the topic, you can catch her in her role as Valkyrie in the latest Marvel release, Thor: Love and Thunder, coming to theaters July 8th. Tessa Thompson, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. This is so cool.
What's going through your head as we prepare to dig in here?
I'm just wondering if I made the right choices this morning. Like, I didn't eat. That seems like a good thing to do, but then also, should I have lined my stomach? You know, I'm thinking around if I'm prepared.
Well, there's no looking back now. Are you ready to get started?
Yeah.
All right,
really nice. I might like a little more.
Have at it.
I gotta smell what's happening here. Okay, peppery notes.
Yeah. So a garlic hit.
Mm-hmm.
A lot to play with in there. A lot to play with.
Balanced on the tongue.
There we go.
I didn't eat, so.
Now we're lining the stomach, you know?
All right. Classic hot sauce.
So the thing that makes the Thor franchise my favorite in the MCU is its particularly irreverent and comedic tone, especially when you compare it to other superhero movies. What would you say makes Taika Waititi's approach as a director unique in the genre? I've heard you gush about his childlike sensibilities.
I think that's a big part of it. Also, when we made Ragnarok, the whole idea was to basically destroy every Thor movie that had come before. Not in terms of success, just to like bash all of the tropes, the tone, and make something that's entirely different.
Okay.
This next installment has been interesting because it's trying to sort of recapture the magic, but I think it's being able to hold a lot of different tonal pockets all at once. Can a film be funny and silly and irreverent, but also can it be heartfelt? Can it be earnest? And can those things careen into each other in a way that feels organic? But I sort of think that that's the way that life is. So it makes sense. Plus, we play a lot of music. I think that helps.
Right. Okay, I like that.
Mellow.
That's how we start you off.
Pause real quick. I forgot this is a new season, so they have a different lineup of hot sauces. I actually bought the box of last season's hot sauces, and the thing is, I haven't tried them yet. I've still got them. I think I talked about that in the last video that I had. And we're supposed to get together at some point. Me and my friends were supposed to come together and like kind of do this thing, and we just haven't done it yet. Yeah, just haven't got it done. But I still got the box from previous seasons, so maybe one day you'll see me like trying not to die from hot sauces. So we'll see how it works. Anyway, let me get back in.
Lull you into a false sense of security.
Terrifying.
See, these are new sauces. I haven't tried any of these.
It's jumping on the tongue.
Yeah, little dancing right here.
Yeah, like tap dancing, like without tap shoes on. You know what I mean? Like it's just a light little flutter of
a light
flavor.
rain on a tin roof.
Exactly.
There we go.
One you can hardly hear. You're like, is that? Oh yeah, that's it.
It's more like your tongue sizzling.
So I often hear actors liken the Marvel films to Greek mythology or Shakespeare. Is there anything that you learned while performing at the Los Angeles Women's Shakespeare Company that helped inform your approach to Valkyrie?
Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah, something we talked about because, we're always gender swapping. So many of the women in that company would play men. And there was this idea that men just are more kind of upright, that men aren't inclined to like break their lines. And for some reason that we associate that with power. So if I'm here talking to you in a scene and I'm doing a lot of this or this, it's a way of signaling. It shouldn't be, but a way of signaling that I don't have as much power. And so I think in taking on Valkyrie, this character that wants to feel really powerful, not masculine necessarily, but I thought a lot about that in terms of body position. And then also just getting buff helped.
And then to dust off a question from the David Harbour episode, what do you think is the best on-ramp to Shakespeare for those of us who've sworn off the work since reading Macbeth in 10th grade?
I mean, I got really into Shakespeare, but it took me a while because I was like, what is this? Doesn't make sense. I think the truth is the first time I saw it perform really well, it was crystal clear. But Cliff's Notes is Shakespeare for Dummies. Yeah.
Get me back on the train.
Pause real quick. So here's the thing with me and Shakespeare. I bet y'all never thought y'all would hear this, but it's like I've read some Shakespeare, probably like a lot of people have, just through like English class, literature class, so forth. But it was something about Shakespeare, honestly, that first time I read it, for whatever reason, it just clicked. Like it just made sense, and I understood like a lot of the stuff that they were trying to say, even though it was like obviously in Old English and the way the words were constructed and stuff like that. But it was almost like reading poetry in a way for me. And that kind of got me into reading too, because at the time, like I wasn't a big reader. I'm still not really a big reader. But, the cool thing is like, at the time I was reading a lot of comic books, a lot of other books and stuff like that. And then somebody threw some Shakespeare at me. And that's actually probably one of my small regrets is like, I've never done like a Shakespeare play. Like I've been in plays and musicals and stuff like that in high school, kind of growing up. And I was in debate and forensics for like 4 years. So I did all that stuff. But I never really dug into Shakespeare like that. So I like the fact that they're kind of touching base on that. Like, what's the way to like connect to Shakespeare for people that are like curious about it, or people that want to get into acting or do like more, quote unquote serious, works. So I think that's kind of a cool question and obviously a really cool answer from her. So anyway, let me rewind that. But it's really cool to see how a lot of actors like get into acting, like and like it's almost like Shakespeare is like that gateway to get into it. So I think that's pretty cool, especially like stage work and stuff. So all right, let me go back in. Let's go.
Shakespeare for Dummies.
And yeah, Shakespeare for Dummies. Yeah.
Get me back on the train.
Oaxacan.
Mezcal.
Okay, I'm into this. I like mezcal.
Kind of a step up.
Oh, really?
Not to lead the witness.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm. You know how the last ones take a minute? This one is like,
Lets you know right away.
Mm-hmm.
It's pepper forward.
This might be my favorite so far.
There we go.
Okay.
It's dancing. If the last one was dancing in the back of the tongue, this one is on the front.
And maybe even wearing shoes this time.
It might be wearing shoes, not stilettos. It's still like comfy, but it's reminding you it exists.
There we go.
Can I ask you a question?
Whatever you want.
The first sip of water, is that like a deduction in terms of
No. Whatever. We want it to be like the most comfortable, least comfortable interview. You know what I mean?
Great.
So if you need a water,
I'm
leave
gonna
a
wait.
sip of milk, and you've got like some lifelines and some unique lifelines.
I have bread. I got rice. I'm taken care of.
There we go. Totally. You're in good hands over here. So last year you launched a production company, Viva Mod, and something that I've always been curious about. Are there certain kinds of stories that are harder to adapt than others?
Yeah, like all the ones I want to adapt. No, but also I really love books. I love reading books, and so there's a lot of novels that we're trying to adapt, and it's ambitious, because they're sprawling, and also there are things that you can do on the page in terms of articulating ideas and thoughts of the character, and how do you communicate that in film language. It takes some real consideration.
I can see that. Oh, here we
I'm
go.
doing great.
Here we go. Los Calientes.
Dancing on it a little bit.
I love this one. It's really smooth throughout.
Here's what I like about her. Like, so far, she's floating through these wings, but I got a feeling like something's about to come up. She's really kind of flowing through these right now, but these aren't like the crazy ones. It's the back half that you have to be like, oh, snap. So
It's, if I dare say so myself, it's kinky.
Oh, I like that.
It's feisty.
There we go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be our tagline, yeah. I'm gonna switch up the tagline, I think.
No. Maybe the better word is it zesty?
It's got some zest.
Okay, it's zest.
I'd say it's got some zest, but I like kinky. We're gonna go with kinky.
Okay.
It's binding. It stands. So it's rare for us to interview a Hollywood star who's actually from LA, but we're happy to put you in the pantheon alongside Elizabeth Olsen and Kristen Stewart.
Elizabeth Olsen, by the way, is my favorite Hot Ones interview of all time.
You know what? I saw you in New York City.
In New York City, the amount I did that for a long time, even when I was not in New York City. I was in a New York City state of mind.
Well, I'm in New York City.
That interview meant a lot to me, forwards to backwards. That's why I'm wearing a blazer, and she was wearing a blazer,
Oh.
so.
That's a good Easter egg. I love that. Do you think that there's something about being from the heart of the entertainment industry that affects the way that you view it? Or is it reductive to think that actors from LA have a certain sensibility?
No, I don't think it's reductive. I think that's probably true. It also depends on how you come in to the industry, even and especially living in Los Angeles. For me, Hollywood was not so much an institution because I didn't know anybody in it. Like where all the stars are, Marilyn Monroe's hands and feet, like that was basically my front yard. In the same way that I saw this romance around people that would come to LA on this pilgrimage for a dream. I was like, well, I want to go on a pilgrimage for a dream. I just don't know. I just don't know where.
Right.
And then once I realized that acting is what I wanted to do and storytelling is what I wanted to do, I was like, well, here I am, I guess.
Pause right there for a moment too. Here's the thing. I would think that if you're a native to a city that is known for whatever it is, if it's known for music, and like you're not even sure if you really like even want to get into music, but then one day you wake up, you know what? I think I can do this music thing, like singing, playing an instrument, whatever it is. I would think that it'd be easier in a way because you don't have to worry about traveling, you don't have to worry about a lot of logistical stuff or expensive stuff because you're already established in that area, to get started. Like if you got to go to like downtown, I don't know, wherever music's at, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's a good music city? I should know this. I've listened to a lot of music. Nashville, like say Nashville, for instance, you go to Nashville, Tennessee, you're in Tennessee, whatever, you live in Nashville, you lived there their whole life. There's a record label down the street that can probably get you, established and up and running. Like, why wouldn't you take advantage of the fact that you live there, and then be a local? Plus, I think there's some local perks if you're in a place like that, just because people that are connected, so forth, as opposed to like, going say from like I'm in Kansas. If I move from Kansas to Nashville, I got to get established. I got to know people, meet people. It's a lot more, work in there unless you get like recruited some kind of way, but I could see that, where she's coming from. Cause it's like for her, Hollywood's the norm. Like it's California. That's where she grew up at, and it wasn't this big idealist sort of thing. It was just like, yo, this is my house. Like, I live here. I've seen these landmarks. I grew up with this stuff. It's not like a big thing to me, but I could see where people coming in, would feel that way. And then of course it's like once you figure out what you want to do, what you're passionate about, then you take advantage of, the proximity you are to your craft. So anyway, I just appreciate that perspective from her on that as well. And of course, Elizabeth Olsen's interview, I did watch it. I didn't put it up on the channel, but I watched it. But anyway, it was a good interview. I like that. And the fact that they're connected by Marvel, Elizabeth Olsen being the Scarlet Witch, here she is as Valkyrie. I don't think their characters have met in the MCU that I can remember, but at the same time, it's cool that they acknowledge each other. So anyway, let me rewind just a tick, and we'll go back in.
That acting is what I wanted to do, and storytelling is what I wanted to do. I was like, well, here I am, I guess.
I like that.
Ooh, Reaper. Okay.
Reaper.
She's doing good.
Climbing.
It's stagey.
Yeah, right? It comes in waves.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's like,
Right, and then you think you're good, and then
it's like, it hasn't hit me with the full.
Uh-oh.
A little bit there. As if it hurt me.
I think they do sometimes,
You think they do? But this is nice. It's settling on my tongue nicely.
There we go.
Back part of it.
Fully soaked, fully marinated. And while you sit in that marinade, Tessa Thompson, we have a recurring segment on our show called Explain That Gram. We do a deep dive on our guest Instagram, pull interesting pictures that need more context.
No.
Uh-oh.
And for the first time in years, after this long hiatus, the laptop is back. Camera guy Bill. Can you still do it? There we go. He's still got it. So we'll show you the picture. You just tell us the bigger story. As a self-described people watcher who also studied cultural anthropology, what's your take on Comic-Con?
Ooh, Comic-Con's cool. And I got to do it really anthropologically because I stole a stormtrooper uniform and I walked the floor. The whole time people were like, you can't walk the floor. A, you don't have time, and also it would be just too chaotic. And so I just borrowed one of these things and took to the floor, and it was so fun. Like, I wish I could do that just for a day. And also I'd love to be able to like plan a real costume and a real look, but really spend Comic-Con that way.
Right.
And also to be
Very
there with
cool.
someone like Chris Hemsworth. I mean, you see the face I'm making in there. I'm like, ooh, people are really into him.
All right, that concludes Explain That Gram. Bill?
Got it.
Looking good, bud.
Thank you. Working out.
All right, you ready to move on here to the back half? Collared and Ghost here in the 6th spot.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
A little bit of a different color.
See, I'm always worried about the bomb.
It's a lot of saliva happening in my
We'll
mouth.
see. Colors
It's
and-
getting watery in there.
So you've worked closely with director Ryan Coogler and have interesting thoughts about how to take something with the size and scale of a Hollywood blockbuster but still give it a real point of view. What have you learned by working with each other about navigating the intersection of art and commerce?
Oh, that's such a good question. I think it's like amazing to have your own autonomy to get to do whatever you want, but it's also incredible to be able to make something that you know a lot of people are going to be able to see, and especially on a global scale. And that's such a rare gift that not that many filmmakers make, and particularly filmmakers that come so steeped in the independent world. You get so much access, and sometimes I think there is this thing of like more money, more problems. As soon as you have money, there are people like really telling you how to spend it. But I've never seen someone deal with that more gracefully than Ryan. I also think so much you make these things and you put them out into the world and they're not yours anymore anyways, which is the beautiful and terrifying thing about them.
All right, you are
like
doing
that.
so good.
Okay.
You're approaching this home stretch here. This next one is Tyrfiend's Curse here in the 7th spot
Okay.
from Halo Gi.
It's building.
Uh-oh.
One of those.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Just a little bit of that.
Yeah.
It's a slight watering of the eyes, but it's not. It's not a bad. That's not a bad thing.
And then this is where I'll just say be careful, because
Don't touch the eyes.
Here's the thing. Pause for a second. Ooh. I know. Excuse me. I know the lineups. That just makes this whole thing just gives me the burps. Anyway, but here's the thing. With the changing lineup all the time, I know they try to curate it a certain way and so forth. I know that not every hot sauce is created the same, except for the bomb. And actually, no, I take that back. There's 2 versions of the bomb, if I remember right. But how do we know who's like the one that can handle the most hot sauce unless they try literally every version of that lineup that they've had over the last, I don't know how many years. I don't think, I wouldn't want to subject anybody to torture like that, but it's like, can we really trust the lineup? I mean, I know they're all hot sauce. I know they're hot, but it's like, can we trust it? I don't know, but maybe do a thing where you take like the guests that appear to handle the hot sauces the best, and then maybe pull them off to like a separate little thing. And not that you need to do a competition per se, but it'd be just kind of fun, and the fun little rapid fire thing, and just have them go through questions real quick. But try maybe other seasons hot sauces to see what they think. Like, I think that'd be kind of cool. So anyway, this little pop in the little thought I had while I'm watching this stuff. So at any rate, let me go and rewind a little bit, get back in here. But I'm just kind of curious to see how she would handle like some of the other sauces from the previous seasons. Because so far, she's coasting through this really well. Or she has a lot of composure, which is also good. So, all right, let's get it.
It's a slight watering of the eyes, but it's not. It's not a bad.
Composure.
It's not a bad thing.
And then this is where I'll just say be careful, because
Don't touch the eyes.
don't touch the eyes. Your instinct you'll want to, but avoid at all costs.
How often do people drool?
Oh, every episode.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead and let it fly.
Okay, not now. I might wait until I get to 9.
As a musician yourself, how would you distill the experience of working alongside composer Ludwig Göransson to make original music for Creed? Like, I imagine that's a unique experience to create music in the context of a film from the perspective of your character.
Yeah, that was so wild too, because we basically locked ourselves in a studio for 2 weeks, and then we'd have friends of him come over and write with us. Like Donald Glover and Sam Dew and Moses Sumney and all these incredible artists. And I've dabbled in music, but I'm not like them. They can do anything. They could eat 2 cutting boards of these hot wings, and then sit down and sing. It also felt like preparation for the role. It was kind of like a fake it till you make it. I don't know. You know what I mean? This one's getting to me.
All right, Tessa, are you ready to move on here to the next wing?
Mm-hmm.
I really did enjoy Creed. Sorry to pause. I really did enjoy Creed. Creed was a great movie. You know what I'm saying? Michael B. Jordan in there, Sylvester Stallone in there, kind of carrying on the Rocky legacy. I thought that was neat. And I liked her character as well. Because if I remember right, she was playing I think she was hearing impaired, if I remember right. And she was also like a musician and stuff in there as well. And it ended up falling in love with the Michael B. Jordan character. But I thought that was really cool kind of dynamic between them. It was really neat. So anyway, let me check that out. Really good stuff right there. All right.
It's getting to me.
All right, Tessa, are you ready to move on here to the next wing?
Mm-hmm.
It brings me no joy to say this, but this is Da Bomb Beyond Insanity.
Mm-hmm.
She said, mm-hmm. Uh-oh. You got it.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah.
There it is.
The jump between this and that
Is exponential.
Oh, yeah! Does this work?
You told me I
No,
went
it
with
makes
you.
it worse. No, it makes it
I
worse. It rubs it. No,
Yeah.
it makes it worse.
don't. Yeah, it's like
Better
taking
get
a
you-
cut and rubbing it on the carpet or something.
Okay, let me see what happens.
Yeah.
That's right. Go
Yep.
get the bread, get your rice,
That's
get
all
all
you.
that.
This is a good thing to do.
Yeah, just anything you can do to survive, and I'll gas pedal it here to the finish line. Do you have a lasting memory from being a bar mitzvah dancer? That seems like such an interesting job, you know, getting people from age 13 to 95 to rally to the dance floor. That seems like a unique challenge for even the most seasoned entertainer.
Uh-huh.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I feel bad for her.
What was your question?
Bar mitzvah dancer. Do you have a lasting memory, or how would you distill the experience?
It was a lot of spandex, a lot of wrangling grannies, and
What happened to the rice? You got rice over there.
a lot of horrors.
Oh, what?
Not horror.
Horror.
You know, and they put you in the chair and hoist you up. I'm fully crying.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because really dancing at bar mitzvahs brings up memories for me. I think really the experience of being there on such a pivotal time in families' lives, being able to
Yeah.
support that, be a part of it, get everybody moving and dancing.
She's done. She's
It
done.
kept the lights on. This is fully clearing my sinuses.
Yeah, a transcendent experience, something that, you know, you walk through, get to the other side, and you're a changed person at the end of it.
When does it go away?
It's a nightmare. A show I have to apologize for.
I love it, man. It makes me feel alive.
Yeah. Dingo Psycho.
The Dingo Psycho sauce from Australia. I know you recently spent some time in Australia.
Yeah.
Dingo
Taste
ate you,
of-
baby.
Australia.
Let me eat this dingo, baby.
Yeah.
Ready?
You got to do it. Your Dango ate you, baby. Oh man, Crocodile Dundee. Shout out to your boy. Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right, let's go. It's probably not as bad as the last one.
This one sucks, but I think after the last one,
That was done?
there's something about that's just a little bit easier.
Oh. Yeah, it's not as bad.
Right. All
Still
downhill
bad.
from here. All downhill from here, Tessa. As a thrift store vet, do you have a vintage secondhand clothing hack that you can share with the people? We've had past Hot Ones guests extol the virtues of shape over all else when it comes to vintage tees.
Yeah, shape is good, but you know, I have a really weird thing, which is I feel like, and this is going to sound really crazy, I get a hit. I got a feeling what I need when there's a vintage thing somewhere for me.
Oh, like a sixth sense.
Yeah. And I'm like, I got to go to this place today. I feel that sometimes. I don't know if it's just that I'm like,
Pause real quick. I think it was Shia LaBeouf, if I remember right. LeBeau, however you say his last name. That was talking about vintage T-shirts and band T-shirts or whatever. And he was worried about the cut, the look, you know, more than anything. And then it's whatever's on the shirt was secondary. But he was like, it's got to look a certain way. He's a fan of shapes and the way that they work and contour. And as a former haberdashery expert, I used to sell suits. Anyway. For somebody that used to do that stuff as a living, like I appreciated that, you know, like I appreciate the fact that he's worried about contours and the way that things look on you and so forth. And that's really important because like you can grit a really cool looking shirt, but if the shirt don't look right on you, there's no point. Like if it looks like a tent, you know, or it looks like super tight or whatever the case might be, if it doesn't fit properly, then there's no point in wearing the shirt, even if it's a cool looking shirt. So just saying. Marvin's tips coming through soon. Marvin's fashion tips. As I'm rocking my origin shirt. Anyway, let's keep going.
like in the need for retail therapy or something, but
Yeah.
that's my advice, is to try to channel the vintage gods for when you might need to get to a place to look for some things.
All right, Tessa Thompson. Reaching for it. She knows.
That's right. Time for the last dab.
I'm gonna. I made it this far.
I saw that coming.
Smart. Put it on the board.
Okay.
Cheers,
Put the
Tessa.
wing in it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That one will make you spin in your bar chair, as Queen Latifah would say.
That's a spicy meatball.
But the good thing, Tessa Thompson,
Mm-hmm.
like Valkyrie battling the God Butcher, we've taken on the wings of death, lived to tell the tale, and just one blind spot in our interview, and that's Tessa Thompson and goats.
Yeah.
You know, you've talked about similarities that you have with goats, but what I'm interested here on Wing 10 is your personal goats. So with your brain on fire and mouth ablaze, I'll hit you with some categories. You just give me the Tessa Thompson greatest of all time.
Okay, great.
Goat craft service snack.
Mm. Spicy hot Cheez-Its.
There we go. Goat movie adapted from a book.
Ooh. Talented Mr. Ripley.
Goat hot sauce.
I like that movie.
Ooh. Some pirate hot sauce amazingness.
Pirate's Lantern, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We've actually had that on the show before.
Mm.
Pirate's Lantern, put it on the throne because Tessa Thompson said so, and now there's nothing left to do but
Stone
roll
Cold
out the red
reference, I
carpet
see,
for
bro.
you. This camera, this camera, this camera, let the people know what you have going on in your life.
Stone Cold Sean
There's
Austin.
so many things to enjoy. This week I'm gonna go to London and I'm gonna eat curry because it's the national dish there. It's the best place to eat curry. Our movie is gonna, I think it's gonna come out and people are gonna see it. And I'm hoping with all this talk of goats that I have some time to spend with goats in some secret situations. I don't mean that in like a
Scary.
weird way. I just mean that I want to have more access. I feel like this might give me more access to goats than I've had before.
Oh my god.
I did it, right?
You crushed it.
Yeah?
I have been asked ever since my family found out I was coming on the show, and friends of mine, I get asked constantly when it's happening. Everyone was so excited, and also it very much was a moment of like, oh, you've made it. Like, you're going to the Hot Ones. Like,
Oh, Marvel? Like, whatever.
you're a good time. No, really and truly, like, they were shocked. Ah!
Very cool, man. Very cool.
Hey, what's going on, Hot Ones fans? Thank you so much for watching today's video. The season 18 sauces, they're here, and you know what that means. Dom, box me. So
Right.
is the big box. The season 18 Hot Ones box
comes
is now
like this.
available at
It comes looking just like that too, because I got it over here in the other room.
heatness.com. That's heatness.com to get your hands on all of the season 18 sauces delivered straight to your door in one convenient box. Don't forget to be careful around the eyes.
Gotta be careful around the eyes. The Idris Elba one was fun. Khloe Kardashian, it was cool. I watched that one too. Not the biggest fan of her per se, you know what I'm saying, but I still appreciate the episode and the fact that she floated through them wings like a pro. So yo, Tessa Thompson, really good, really good strong showing here, considering like you're eating like 10 different hot sauces, going crazy, answering questions, trying to talk. You know, she shed some tears. The bomb got her, you know. But that was really the only one I think that really hit her the most. Everything else was just kind of like she powered through it. So I could tell she probably eats spicy stuff or used to it anyway. So that's pretty neat. Also, definitely gonna go check out that Thor God and Thunder tonight. So I don't know. Like, I'm not really a big movie reviewer per se. I watch a lot of movies. I go to a lot of movies all the time. I got the AMC Stubbs Pass. I literally have a movie theater across the street from me. I buy movie stuff all the time. But I don't really talk about movies here on the channel like that. So, I don't know. That might be maybe a dedicated day of the week that I'm like, yo, this is Marvin Movie Monday or whatever. And just talk about Monday movies. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know if we'll figure it out. But at any rate, man, that was a really fun interview. Thanks for watching it with me too, man. I appreciate you guys for watching with me one time. Definitely check out the Heatness channel here. The Sean Evans interview and all that stuff on the Hot Ones channel. Subscribe to them if you haven't already. Definitely check out all their content and stuff like that. It's really fun. It's really fun watching the way that Sean Evans puts those questions together, and also seeing some really cool like celebrity interviews. I'm a fan of those sometimes. It's my own little kind of personal YouTube rabbit hole that I'll jump into at times. So, but all right, y'all. Hey, my name is Marvin. This is Smitty Reacts. I'm gonna get about this video. Get ready for this movie. Go see what it's talking about. So, at any rate, what's my outro, y'all? I forgot my outro. Oh man. Anyway, take care of yourself. Be kind to one another. And of course, if you guys can do all that, I will catch you in the next video. All right? All right. Peace.